Alright folks, the Star Wars division. Some people say I developed this league, I started this league just to play in Star Wars, and you know what? Those people are right.
So the call was put out. Really no chance to study, and here I am trying to test my mettle against somebody who I know happens to be a phenomenal Star Wars player.
This league, this division, is what I've been wanting to do since I watched the first Schmodown match, honestly, because the first Schmodown match I watched was Star Wars, and I said, hey, I could do that. And guess what? I am going to do it now, and if I win, I get the chance to be the first movie trivia face-off Star Wars champion, which will be pretty cool. Now I'm playing.
All I can say is I hope this is the one with the Vulcan neck pitches and the USS Kelvin, because if that's the case, I might actually have a chance to win. No idea what's actually going to happen.
Jay, apparently, is it Jay? Yes, Jay, who stepped up last minute because we needed someone to face me, and not a lot of people wanted to, but he did.
So please send me your spirits, your kasas, whatever it is. I'll try not to force it down your throat. I'm just here to play. I'm here to have a good time. David, I know everybody says García.
And honestly, I think I couldn't have found a harder opponent to fight today, because he did incredible. I know he hasn't had time to prepare for this match.
I'm hoping to be a challenge to you, buddy. If I somehow pull the W out of my ass, I will be incredibly surprised.
Yeah, I am ready to do this. Like, I cannot wait to start. This is going to be fun. This is what I have been wanting to do, and I am going to have the best time of my life.
And I'm just here to answer some questions and hopefully not crashing. I'm just here to bring things. Let's play.
What's up, Face-Off fanatics? Once again, we are back with some amazing action here in the movie trivia Face-Off. Another first for the league, and a match that I am absolutely thrilled to be calling today. This is a big one. If you've been around the league, you know me, you know the Elk. Well, first off, you're welcome. Secondly, though, you might know that I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. That said, I'm going to take a quick moment and say I am so glad to be here, because Star Wars, I remember taking that golden box with those VHSs off the shelf, watching them when I could, back when I was a little kid. Yes, I am that old. This has a special place in our hearts, in the history of Hollywood, of movies. If it weren't for Star Wars, a lot of great other movies made, and really, it's that we love so much. So I'm happy to be here today. You're happy to have me. And of course, I'm joined by a great partner here on the desk, my fellow Canadian and a heck of a competitor, Jimmy Deary.
Oh, I'll appreciate the heck of a competitor. I'll take it. Thank you, Elk. How are you today?
Like I said, I'm super pumped about this match. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away may be where it all started, but today we get to find out which of our two incredible competitors has more knowledge when it comes to that special place that George Lucas brought to all of us. We've got two great competitors today. We've got the Spaniard, we've got the Arsonist stepping into this match against him. Both really strong competitors. I've got to say, not my favorite person in the world, but to David, I know he knows his stuff. What about you? What are you thinking?
Well, David has created the league pretty much to play in Star Wars, I think. So him getting this match, being the first competitor in the Star Wars match in this league, that means a lot to him. And he's looking to get the title shot, because this is a #1 contender match.
We've got two number one contenders matches that are going to be coming to you folks. We wanted to get this one off the ground right away, get things rolling right into that Act 3, and crown a Star Wars champion. So you've got two very important matches coming at you. Those two individuals will face each other to be the first ever Star Wars champion here in the Movie Trivia Face-Off. It's exciting. It's amazing. It's better than a space battle. Some of them, ooh. Not be the biggest fan of The Last Jedi, but that scene with Holdo blew me away, and I think the competitors today are going to do the same thing.
I hope you didn't spoil the question there. Oof. But yeah, I agree. That should be a great match. I know Spaniard has been looking for it this past 6 months, maybe? And he's been studying for the last 20... How old is he? 27? 21? 12? I don't know. He's looking forward to the match. That's all I gotta say. And Jay Burnz, he got a title shot in Geek in Full Metal Geek recently, so that's gonna be a good match. I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely certain. You are correct, Jimmy. And for you, the Face-Off fanatics, it is that time. Get pumped, get excited as we get into the action. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to face off. Introducing first, the Spaniard. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the introduction, Elk. As you said, I have been looking forward to this for a long time, so let's not wait anymore.
All right, David, you've got an incredible competitor coming up against you today. Let's get him in here, folks. Introducing his opponent, Jay Burnz, the Arsonist. Welcome, Jay.
How's it going, buddy? I got one question for you real fast. Why am I fighting what looks to be an evil Michael Scott from the Darkest Timeline?
You know, normally I'm the one
who... I don't understand that reference, though.
Normally I'm the one who gets to rag on the Spaniard, but I'll take all the help that I can get, and you're not wrong. Although I might have gone with the Spock reference just to piss off you Star Wars nerds.
He doesn't know who Michael Scott is. Anyway, so...
All right, Jimmy, so we've got two great competitors, and it is Star Wars all the way through. Every single question, be it about little green people, tall guys in black suits, just people with laser swords in general. We're going to get to our competitors and make sure that they are ready to go, and then we're going to get this thing underway. David, how you feeling? You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
David is ready. Jay, are you ready?
No, because I didn't know this was a number one contenders match.
Oh, sometimes you get lucky. Who knows? All right, Jay is ready. David is ready. Jimmy, are you ready to get this thing going?
Yes, sir. I'm going to read you the rules for round number 1. Each competitor is going to get 10 questions in the Star Wars realm, be either about the movies or the Clone Wars movie. Each competitor has to write down their answer on their board, and when asked, they will have to reveal their answer to the world. Each competitor gets 3 repeats and a challenge, and should you get a perfect round, that means 10 questions correct, you're gonna get a bonus questions. Do you understand the rules?
Yep.
Alright, let's get ready to face off. Question number 1. How many credits were paid by Obi-Wan and Luke for Han and Chewie to take them to Alderaan? Sorry,
we got Star Wars, and we're starting off with financial questions. George Lucas and the prequels would be proud.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering any names, but...
Now, are you looking for the official amount that they agreed on?
We are looking for the total sum. I know what you're asking. We're looking for the total sum agreed to.
Spaniard, hide your board just in case. Let's go with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go with Arsonist.
17,000.
That is the correct answer. And Spaniard.
Correct.
17,000.
Yep. And David, just make sure to hide your board so Arsonist can see it.
All right,
already. The other way around.
I mean, in all fairness, come on, I knew that answer.
Can I point out I got the first question? I think it's...
You want, David, but that's not going to change how the match goes down. No bonus points for getting that first question correct. However, Jimmy, I would already be down against both of these competitors. Let's keep it going. Let's see how much they know. Gentlemen, question number 2 comes to you from the category of Attack of the Clones.
Best movie.
In Attack of the Clones, Rim Planet are the clone troopers created?
On which planet? Episode 2, the greatest movie in the series, right?
Yep.
Can't quite agree with you there, but
The longest, maybe, but not the
3
Is it?
and 1, pens down. Burnz is the correct answer. Mr. García, do you have it?
I do. Camino, I think you should have gone to me first.
I'm pretty sure the answer is still going to be the same no matter which order we go in, but thank you, David, for telling me how to do my job. I never get sick of that.
Those commissioner powers, right? It gets to your head.
Counterfeit commissioner powers, don't forget.
Ah, you're right. Next question, third question in category of Empire Strikes Back. What creature captures an unconscious Luke and eats his tauntaun?
This is a question I actually probably could have got. All that experience watching those gold boxes when I was a kid.
Hot take. I don't think I've seen Empire Strikes Back. Dun, dun, dun.
You 6 flicks for nothing.
Here's the coldest hot take out there. This is the best movie.
1. Oh, I'm sure it is.
Return of the Jedi. Another hot take.
And Spaniard, since you want to go first, show us.
Wampa?
And Arsonist.
Oh, no, it's a Wampa.
Yes, it is. Good job.
Very well done, gentlemen. Everyone perfect so far. I mean, it is round 1. We weren't expecting anything less from 2 competitors of this caliber.
You jinxed it.
Sing it. That's not my thing. So we'll see what happens to David as we continue on. Gentlemen, your question, number 4 in this round, comes in the category of Force Awakens. Of the junk trader, played by Simon Pegg.
What is the name of the junk trader?
And it's not Sean.
Sean? I don't get a reference.
Dead in 5. 2. And just to piss off Mr. García, go ahead, Jay.
In-car plot.
Yes.
Plot is correct. David.
Uncarflat.
Yeah, spelling doesn't count, so you're good.
The pronunciation to me sounded pretty good. We're going to give them both a point on that one.
Question number... I don't know how to count. I think I'm hillbilly now. Oh, damn. Question number 5 in the category of episode 1, Phantom Menace. What is the name of the violent dog pod racer Anakin races against in the Phantom Menace?
Phantom Menace, I did line up for this one in theaters, and for a while after I saw it, I thought it was a pretty good movie. And then I watched it a couple more times.
That was the time when you...
When I was 9.
That was a movie when... that was the time when you couldn't book your tickets in advance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go with Mr. García.
Sebulba.
Absolutely. Arsonist.
Sebulba.
Good job.
I apologize for my awful handwriting, but by the way.
Very well done, gentlemen.
Mine's just terrible.
Very well done.
Did it say Jane Fonda, by the way? I kind of misread. Oh.
No, not quite, but very close. That does sound a bit like a Star Wars name, doesn't it? Jane Fonda?
It does.
All right, gentlemen, let's keep it going for you. We got another question. Both is still perfect, and yes, I'm going to keep saying it until one of you misses. Your next question in the category of Return of the Jedi. Who is the first character mentioned in the opening crawl of Return of the Jedi?
I'm going to say it. That's the first hard question, I think.
I think this might be the most difficult one we've had so far.
It's not like we're asking what's the name of episode 5.
5, 4, 3,
He jinxed me.
2, 1. Let's go to Jay.
I have Han Solo.
Han Solo is not the answer we are looking for. First miss of the match. And David, what do you have?
Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker is correct. David García still perfect through that question.
He managed to fight the jinxing. Good job.
That was a guess.
Questions.
That was a
And
guess.
for the record, David, I believe it's pronounced Star Killer.
No, that's the big ball.
All right, gentlemen. Question number 7. Category is Revenge of the Sith. I have some sources saying that, David, that's your favorite movie. Anyway.
No.
Oh, damn. All right, the question is, why did Bail Organa decide to take Leia? And we'll be lenient on the description.
Why did he state he decided to adopt her? I believe is what that question is looking for. This one, a bit more of a deep cut. Those movie quotes, always tough questions.
Actor is Jimmy. I don't want to spoil any questions, so I'm not gonna say his name. Let's call him Jack Bauer.
And we have probably 5 seconds left, Jimmy.
Yep. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Jay, what you got?
Him and his wife always wanted kids.
Oh.
Can't take that.
Oh.
Oh,
Close.
Well, David, tell him what's the answer.
his
You said
wife
you'd be lenient.
always wanted to adopt a little girl.
Always wanted a
is-
little girl. That is correct.
That's why.
You didn't say you were looking for a quote, and you said you'd be lenient, so that's what you got from me.
That's a very close one. Remember, you do still have your challenges on the board. If you'd like the challenge, we can take a look at that one. If not, we will move
As a
on to
matter
your
of
next
fact,
question.
I will. It's cool. I might as well burn it now. Yeah, I'll challenge it. You guys said you would be lenient. You didn't say you were looking for a quote.
All right.
It's the general vicinity of
All right. We will take that challenge under advisement. Folks, we're going to be right back. We're going to have a little discussion about this one, and we'll see what happens. All right, we are back, face-off fans. We've had a bit of a discussion, myself and Mr. Deary. We're overseeing this match, and based on the wording of the question, we did not ask for a specific quote. The question was very, very close to correct, and mostly, and this is the important part, I just don't like Spaniard getting a lead on his opponent. So we're going to go ahead and throw that question out. We're going to give them a brand new question. Take that one.
Which I think I'm gonna read you once again. Category now is Rogue One.
Wow.
Yeah, your favorite, right? The question is, who composed Rogue One? The guy who created songs, music.
You have to admit, there's some great music in these Star Wars films. I cannot fight anybody on that note.
Even in the Ewok specials, right?
Watched the Caravan of Courage many times, bro.
We don't talk about those. Don't be that person.
Okay, Jay, what you got?
Michael Cappuccino? No, it's Michael Giacchino.
Yes. And Mr. Spaniard.
Yeah, Michael Giacchino.
Done, guys. Very well done indeed. Let's keep it going. Spaniard maintaining his 1-point lead. The challenge was upheld, so Arsonist, remember, you do still have your challenge. Everyone still has all their repeats. It's going to be coming from the category of Solo, a Star Wars story. Solo. Does Beckett's crew attempt to steal from the train on Vandor?
Technical repeat, please. You got.
What material to attempt to steal from the train on Vandor?
I'm waiting for the sequels, Duo and Trio.
You know, Jimmy, once in a while, you just beat me to the exact joke I was going to make. That one. 5.
Green minds think alike.
3. Small minds rarely differ. 2. Jay, go ahead.
I have coaxium on my board.
Coaxium on their train. That's correct for a point. David García.
Coaxium.
Show me that board again.
Yeah. I just realized I didn't. Yeah.
You jinxed
Fair.
it.
He did write it down in advance. He did say the word correctly. I think that is just a simple writing issue. I don't think there's any reason to take the point away, as much as I would love to.
Fair enough. Jay, you have your challenge if you want to.
It's not necessarily a challenge thing. Granted, I did say the word first. Not that I don't think he could pronounce it. He literally does not have the right word on his board.
Yeah, it's totally fair.
That will be my ruling.
No argument from David, then that means we will in fact be removing that point. That means they've tied it up. Well done, Arsonist. Making great use of his challenge in this match. Already.
All right, gentlemen.
The first time. Nice to the Spaniard, and he doesn't even let me do that once. This is why I hate this guy.
Oh, you're not alone. All right. Question now is in the category of The Last Jedi. Your 8th question. After General Hux leaves the throne room, what does Snoke call him in front of Kylo Ren?
Jimmy, don't forget, we've added a question to the document. I believe that's the 9th question that they are being asked, not the 8th.
I told you I cannot count. I'm sad.
Well, they are both at 7 points, so...
They missed one.
5.
3, 2, 1. David.
Rabbit car.
That is correct. You're correct this time. And Arsonist?
I have a cur.
That's a movie quote.
Go ahead and say...
No.
That's fine.
Him is unacceptable. Unfortunately, I'm fairly certain we're going to have to stick with it. The full thing he calls him is rabid cur.
Can I make an argument that you didn't ask for the full thing? No, I'm kidding.
Official challenge being thrown out as far as I can tell. Question, gentlemen, in this round, David the Spaniard García does have a 1-point lead. No perfect rounds on the table. So this is your chance, Jay, to tie it back up. And David, your chance to maintain your lead or extend it just a little bit further going into round 2. All right, gentlemen, your final question is in the category of The Clone Wars. Who directed Star Wars The Clone Wars? This is a question, Jimmy, way outside my area of expertise. I haven't seen any of these animated films, but I've heard they're very, very good.
It depends who you ask.
I mean, that's true of every movie.
Jay said you don't talk about them, so... Oh, no, that was the Ewoks. Oh, you don't talk about anything outside of the episodes. Fair enough. 5,
All right, 4,
3,
2, 1. Hands down. And to mix things up on my end, why don't we go to David first this time?
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni is correct. He does gain another point. Arsonist to stay within 1.
No, it's going to be 2 because I just wanted to shout out Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski.
Great gentleman to shout out. Unfortunately, that means he does fall behind by 1 more point.
Yeah.
We had a crazy round. We had some challenges come in. Very well navigated by Jay Burnz, I must say. Love what he did there. Both fighting very hard and just barely missing the perfect round is David García. But we all know what happens in round number 2. It's anybody's game. Anything can happen when that wheel comes into play. What movies do they like? What ones do they want to give to their opponents? Where do the strengths lie? Let's find out. Let's get into it. Here come the rules for round number 2. All right, face-off fanatics. It is round number 2. That is the wheel round, the wheel of fate, justice, and, of course, the Sith. We've got that wheel out for you. The rules for round number 2 are as follows. Gentlemen, you each get a spin at the wheel. When you do spin the wheel, you will be given questions from the category you land on. If you do not like the category that you land on, you may choose to spin again 1 time. In this case, I do not have to tell you that's unless you land on opponent's choice because there is no spinners or opponent's choice on the wheel today. Every category is an individual Star Wars film or category. 2 points in this round. There is stealing live. If you go to multiple choice on your question, you will be given 4 options and the value will reduce to 1 point. If you miss your question, that live steal comes up and your opponent can steal the points from you. Both players have 3 repeats and 1 challenge remaining. Gentlemen, David, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Yeah, buddy.
We're going to do this. David, you are currently in the lead by 2 points, 9-7 over Jay. Would you like to spin first or defer to your opponent?
So since he was so nice stepping up, I am going to be nice and let him spin first.
Can I defer my deferment back to him?
Unfortunately not. This is the one choice you don't get in a wheel with no opponents or spinner choice. You will have to take the first spin.
That's fine with me.
Let's spin the wheel. Ooh.
I'm gonna force push that wheel.
Magic.
Force, but will it land him on what he wants? We've got a lot of different movies and a couple of categories that I know some players would want to shy away from. Weapons, vehicles, and technology. That's a tough one.
Empire Strikes Back.
I'll take ESP.
All right.
Strikes Back it is. All right, I will go ahead and ask the questions to Jay. You can ask the questions to David. Let's find these questions here. All right, Empire Strikes Back. He takes it right away. Let's see how that works out for him. The first question of 5 in The Empire Strikes Back. What is one of the problems Lando has to deal with on Cloud City?
That's a good question. I'm gonna go multiple choice.
I can absolutely do that for you. Your multiple choice options are A, malfunctioning droids, B, difficulties with labor, C, mining accidents, and D, smuggling.
Ooh. I'm probably wrong. I'm gonna go difficulties with labor. B.
That is absolutely correct. You are not mistaken there. 1 point on the board. He's getting closer to David with that one. 4 questions left to go. All right, let's see if we can keep this going for you. Arsonist, question number 2. What resource or material is mined on Cloud City?
Starship fuel.
Unfortunately, that is not the answer that I have listed here. He did not opt for multiple choice. So for a 2-point steal, David, your question, what material or resource is mined on Cloud City?
Tibanna gas.
Tibanna gas is absolutely correct. That is a 2-point steal. All right, unfortunate steal from his opponent, but you got 3 questions left. Arsonist, question number 3 of 5. Which Cheers actor has a small role in Echo Base? Looking for the actor from the television show Cheers.
Don't know what that is.
I know it. Multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice options, Arsonist, are as follows. Ted Danson, Woody Harrelson, John Ratzenberger, or George Wendt.
John Ratzenberger.
John Ratzenberger, Pixar's favorite son, absolutely correct. He seems like a good luck charm in a lot of movies. All right, still trailing, but you've got 2 questions remaining in this round, Arsonist. Looking probably to get a 2-pointer on the board. Your 4th question, your penultimate question. How many rocks is Luke balancing with the Force when he loses his concentration and falls? Gotta get that picture in your mind. See if you can force project the answer.
Mind blown.
I know you're just gonna list numbers like a multiple choice, but I'd rather cut it down multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options, Arsonist, are as follows. Are you sure you're not a Jedi, by the way? Because you definitely figured out what these question answers were going to be like. Your options are A, 4, B, 2, C, 3, or D, 5. The number's getting to me, too. Let me repeat that for you. A4, B2, C3, D5. The new droids in the next Star Wars movie.
Well, all of those numbers did pop into my head. I'm gonna just go ahead and let him steal. I'm gonna say 3.
3 is incorrect. David, your options once again. A4, B2, C3, D5.
2.
That's another point on the board for the Spaniard. Very dominant so far. Oh, this is a tough round so far. Couple steals from the Spaniard, but it is not over. You have one final question, one final chance to put points on the board before your opponent takes his spin, Jay. Let's get right to it. What was Luke's call sign when scouring the area around Echo Base?
Can I get a technical on that, please?
Absolutely, you can. Not a problem. What was Luke's call sign when scouring the area around Echo Base?
Luke's call sign?
Luke's call sign, yes.
So which means Echo 7.
Echo 7, not the answer we were looking for. David for a 2-point steal.
Echo 3.
That's 2 big points. Echo 3 is the correct answer. I believe Han Solo's was also an Echo and a
Echo 7.
Echo 3 to Echo 7. Yeah.
Could be where that came from. My goodness, that was a heck of a round for the Spaniard, amazingly enough. He manages 3 steals in that round, and a lot of those answers for Jay very, very close, but he can't be feeling too good as we go to David's spin of the wheel. Jimmy, why don't you take that away?
I'll do that. Mr. Spaniard, when you want to spin, use the Force. Magic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Harry Potter, not the Force. That's gonna be your favorite, Revenge of the Sith.
This is not my favorite. It's my top 2. Yeah, I'm taking it.
Alright. I'm gonna be asking you your questions, and we are in possible KO territory. Your first question in Revenge of the Sith. What did Sidious promise Viceroy Gunray by ending the war?
Peace.
2 points. Getting closer to KO there. Your second question in Revenge of the Sith. General Grievous established a secret separatist outpost on which planet?
Darn those separatists.
Utapau.
2 more points.
Rolling through this category so far.
I don't know how to count, so Elk, please tell me when we're...
I will let you know as soon as it's that point.
Thank you.
It's no point.
Yeah, but you could still steal some points, so we'll see.
That's correct. I'm keeping the math in my head. Don't worry, the Elk has you covered.
The hardest working man in face-off. Right there. Alright, third question in Revenge of the Sith. How many younglings were in the council's chamber during the siege?
Definitely not going easy on them with this question.
Wow.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know, 5.
Jay, for a steal. Here's your chance.
Perhaps
That is also incorrect. The answer we were looking for was 7.
the other half of the convenience store.
7.
Wow.
Yep.
Tough
All right.
question, 2 questions left in this round. Still a big lead for the Spaniard.
Next question. How many lightsabers does Grievous have when he runs away on his cycle?
once again, another counting question, another deep cut.
5, 4.
None.
2 points.
0. That's correct.
That's it. That's game.
Not
It's
yet.
not over yet. If Spaniard misses this question on either the 2 or the 1 point, it can still be stolen to keep Jay Burnz alive. Spaniard, if you get this question correct for any point value, you will win by knockout.
David, your last question in Revenge of the Sith for the possible KO. Who is the Jedi Master who moves his troops to Buzz Pity? Sorry.
Seems like he might not have it. This could
Multiple
still be going.
choice.
Let's do this. Multiple choice. Your options are A. Master Yaddle, B. Master Mundi, C. Master Voss, or D. Master Fisto.
A lot of wacky names in the Star Wars movies.
C. Master Voss.
And your winner, by way of knockout, David, the Spaniard García.
What a statement. Going in
Statement. Ooh,
for a title shot.
knockout.
He's going for the
victory in
belt.
number 1 contenders match is incredible. David the Spaniard García. I say a lot of things about this man, but definitely knows his Star Wars. Heck of a fight from the Arsonist, Jay Burnz. Honestly, if he hadn't lost a couple of steals in that second round, I think we've seen an entirely different match. We're going into round 3. It's still anybody's game. But the knockout victory, you cannot argue with the result. Absolutely an incredible performance today. I'm amazed by that one. We've got 2 great competitors, and of course we have a man waiting to talk to both of our competitors. We're going to throw it over to him right now for our post-match interviews. Take it away, the Gothfather, Alex Frost.
All right, guys, thank you so much, Elk, for that lovely introduction. I am here after a fantastic match with the unfortunate loser of sorts. I'm here with Jay Burnz. And Jay, for the people that don't know, maybe don't understand, maybe you're watching for the first time, David is one of the best competitors in Geek, but his specialty, really what he's best at, is Star Wars. This is somebody who when we put out the open call, suddenly we couldn't find a whole lot of people. But, you know, the one man we did find, somebody that did want to step up, somebody that did say, I want to throw my name in that hat, I want to maybe be the number 1 contender, I want to fight David García, that was you. That took a lot of courage, that took a lot of passion, that took a lot of guts, for lack of a better word. How do you feel coming out of that loss? Do you feel you've gained more respect? And what do you think is next?
I really don't know because I don't know. Apparently, I can't get a match unless I step up. My issue isn't anything really. You know, it was close coming out of the first round. The Empire Strikes Back questions were they were a little bit on the more difficult side. I knew more of the Revenge of the Sith questions, which is weird because I haven't watched that movie very much. However, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite. It sucks coming in and showing and kind of shitting the bed like that because I am a better Geek competitor than that. And I might have to reevaluate putting Star Wars as a strength in any other family I'm in at this point in time because I'm embarrassed by the way my round 2 happened. So, yeah, there's that.
Well, Jay, you say that about your performance. I might say otherwise. I think that stepping in against David, I think that will put you into the spotlight. I think this is the rub that you're going to get. I think very soon people are either going to want to make a name off of you, knowing what you've done here today, or are going to be a little bit more hesitant to take you on. Either way, I know for one absolute fact, David García knows who you are. The Elk knows who you are, Jimmy Derry knows who you are, and I know who you are. You have nothing to be ashamed of, and anybody that says otherwise is just plain wrong, does not know this game. All right, that being said, I know for a fact I'm a huge fan of this show. Transvale, your D&D game, can be found on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Anything else?
Not really. I mean, I ain't got a whole bunch else going on, so that's why I'm free to step up into these games.
And we're so glad that you do. Jay, you're one of my absolute favorites to watch. I'll be keeping an eye on your career, on your future. Maybe it's going to be me and you one day. But until then, I'll be right back with David, the Spaniard, Garcia, the winner. And we are right back with David Garcia, the Spaniard, the winner. David, some people, no names involved, Elk, some people will say that you had the easy road, that Jay Burnz wasn't prepared, that this was the gimme. This was, for the people that don't know and for many that do, you started this league. You are one of the founding fathers of this league. And Star Wars, the division, is really your baby. This is, your home project. What do you say to those accusations?
Well, I say to those accusations, watch Jay play Star Wars in any other place. Jay is a great Star Wars competitor, but honestly, if I had to step up right out of the blue to play against pretty much anyone in Star Wars, knowing the level of specificity that is needed to play in this division, because I know when Jay has to play a match in anything, he studies his heart out. And we just had to grab someone with 15 minutes of advance for this match, and he wasn't prepared, and he still pulled questions I honestly didn't know. Some of the two of the Empire Strikes Back multiple choices I will have probably not gotten in the first try like he did. So yeah, to those accusations I say sure.
Fair enough. And David, this now puts you in an interesting position. You're going to be playing for the Star Wars Championship. And we have yet to find out who you'll be playing, but I'd be lying if most of the league didn't consider you a front runner for this belt, for this championship. Do you feel that way? Is there anybody in this league that can challenge you?
Oh yeah. I am not going to name specific names, but I can think at least of 5 people that can step up in the Star Wars ring and have exactly the same performance or a better performance that I had today. This league, the Star Wars division in this league, is small, but it's really good. So yeah, next season, we are going to see a lot of good Star Wars matches, but this season, it's like the championship match and the match that's yet to come are going to be top level. And I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't win the Star Wars championship match, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did it either, so.
All right, very interesting. Going forward, you will absolutely be one to watch. The championship match is on the way, but that's for another time. For right now, we're going to go right back to the Elk and Jimmy the Hazard Dairy.
All right, Face-Off fanatics, welcome back. Thank you, Alex Frost, for those wonderful post-match interviews. Jimmy, you heard a lot from both of our competitors out there, and I've got to mirror what was said about Jay Burnz, an incredible competitor. He is willing to step up. He's willing to take that chance against any competitor. That shows a fighting spirit that a lot of people in this league, I don't think, have necessarily put forward. And I would like to officially say that I think that Jay Burnz is the second most exciting man in the Face-Off today, behind, of course, yours truly. And the Star Wars division is heating up, folks. That's right, #1 contenders match. We already know David García is going to be in that match. He's going to be facing off against another opponent. We have another exciting #1 contenders match coming your way very shortly. And man, what a performance from García in this matchup. I'm not a fan of the guy. You all know that out there. Frankly, I could do with a little less of him, but you'll definitely be getting some more of him. And with a performance like you put up today, just one question missed, if I'm not mistaken. Jimmy, who's going to be able to take him down?
Let me guess. Not me, not you, not Alex, not. He's in the top 5 competitors in the division right now, and he's going to the title shot. So he could be standing still with the belt at the end of the season, pretty much. That's going to be a big deal.
Absolutely true. Jay Burnz may be feeling a little bit like Luke after he came out of that cave on Dagobah. He might be doubting himself, but he shouldn't be, because he did fight very hard. That Death Star, it is coming along. But we know what happened in the end to Darth Vader, to the Emperor, and to the Death Star as those movies went on. David García still got a mountain to climb ahead of him, but he's got one more match against whoever wins our next exciting Star Wars match. I'm thrilled to be able to bring this to you folks. Our Star Wars division getting underway. The Movie Trivia Face-Off always bringing you all sorts of wonderful matches. We've got our Frenzy matches, our singles division, our Geektacular division. I know, Jimmy, you did great in that singles tournament. Very well fought for you when you were in there.
Thank you.
But of course, I want to thank you, Jimmy, for joining me here on the desk today. Jimmy Deary, always a pleasure to have you with me. But if you're against me, I'll change my tune real fast. You know that one. Thank you as well to all of you, the Face-Off fanatics out there. We love you. That's why we put these matches out. We love movie trivia. We love the Schmodown. If you don't know about the Schmodown, if somehow you saw our videos first, remember to check them out. Join the Patreon. Support if you're a movie trivia fan. I promise it's a good call. As well, thank you to all of our behind-the-scenes folks who are busting their butts out there. We've got our editors. We've got our question writers. We've got everybody who does all that hard work. Their names are going by on the bottom of the screen. Check them out. If you're in the Discord, give them a hey, what's up? Love the match. You guys are doing a great job out there, because I think they're doing a great job. Not nearly as great a job as me, the Elk. We'll be back with another exciting Star Wars match for you very soon. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next time we face off.
Well, I am finally making my debut in the Star Wars division as well, after I already made my debut in Geek. I am now facing Antonio in Star Wars.
Just had to get back into this. I've been away for a while. I played Keys before. I know he's very formidable.
I faced him before. I know that he knows his Star Wars all right. But today I'm here to show that there is a difference between people who like Star Wars and people who live and breathe Star Wars every day of their life. Of course, I'm the second one.
That was actually one of my first matches, and I was glad to make an impression back then. I'm kind of worried about him. He's very, like I said, he's very knowledgeable, especially with Star Wars. I mean, he's wearing that uniform.
There are a lot of people in this league that I know. They like Star Wars. They've seen the movies a couple of times. Okay, good for you. That's not going to win you any belts. I'm here for the belt. I have been studying for this, preparing for this all my life, essentially, by reading the books, reading the comics, watching the TV shows, everything that ties into the movies, and of course, rewatching the movies all over and over and over again.
And I can only have this. All I brought was a shirt. Keep things interesting, and let's see how today goes.
That is why I think I'm going to win, and that's why I think Antonio, you might give a fight, but you're not going to win today.
Greetings and welcome to another exciting edition of the Movie Trivia Face-Off. Tonight we're bringing you a Star Wars match, and my name is Corey Morset. Usually I'm behind the scenes editing these matches, but I think I've complained enough that the powers that be have let me actually come out and call one of these matches, and I'm absolutely overjoyed today because I am joined by a Face-Off legend. His name is Hillbilly Scripps. How's it going, sir?
Howdy, Corey. I'm pretty happy to be here today and watch these two competitors go after it using the Force and answering some of that there Star Wars trivia.
Now, how much do you know about Star Wars there, Hillbilly?
I know a little bit. I used to run moonshine, and I could make the moonshine run in 12 parsecs.
Very impressive. I'm very much looking forward to this match. I'm one of the few people involved with the Movie Trivia Face-Off who was actually alive when Star Wars was released in 1977. So I know a little bit about Star Wars, but not as much as these two competitors today. I think you are going to see a brilliant display of Star Wars knowledge here today.
You are absolutely right, sir. These fellers ain't no slouches. They know their stuff. And I think we're going to have a pretty dang good match today.
All right, Hillbilly, what do you say we get it going?
Let's do it.
All right, introducing first, from New York City, New York. You may remember him as bending the knee at the Schmodown live event, proposing to his girlfriend. He's also known as the Midnight Marauder, Antonio Chavez. How's it going, sir?
It's all right. Old as hell over here, but otherwise, just warming up for this match.
Perfect. Let's bring out your opponent here from the Netherlands. You might know him from the Dedicated to Art YouTube channel. He is Case, the Grand Admiral Cornelissa. How you doing, sir? Looking very sharp in the Grand Admiral outfit.
Of course. Yes, I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to this match.
Perfect. What do you say we get to the rules of round number 1? And before we get going, the number 1 most important rule, of course, of the Movie Trivia Face-Off, your hands must be on screen at all times. Make sure they're always visible, whether you're writing a question or not. We want to make sure you're not down typing on anything, so make sure your hands are always visible in the shot. All right, so the rules for round number 1 are as thus. You get 10 questions in the Star Wars galaxy. They're given to all competitors from random categories. The competitors have 15 seconds to write their answers down, either on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper. Answers must be said aloud when you're revealing your response. All questions are worth 1 point. A perfect round will trigger a 1-point bonus question. Of course, you have 3 repeats for this match and 1 challenge. Gentlemen, do you understand the rules?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, then let's get ready to face off. All right, gentlemen, your first category today is from A New Hope. And your question is, what is the name of the captain of the Tantive 4? And we need first name and last name. And I hope I pronounced Tantive correctly. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pens down. Let's start with Antonio. What do you got?
Wedge Antilles.
Okay, and Case?
It's Ramus Antilles.
You are correct. It is Ramus Antilles. Case goes up by 1 point.
All right, fellers. Our next question, question number 2, is in the category of Attack of Them Their Clones. And your question is, besides a sizable fee, what did Jango Fett want in return for being cloned?
You get a lot of clones in the Ozarks there, Hillbilly?
Not a whole lot, but I got some conspiracy theories on some of that.
I bet you do. So that's pens down.
We'll get back to it later.
We will put a pin in it. Okay, let's start with Antonio. Oh, sorry, with Case.
And an altered clone for himself.
Okay, and Antonio?
And an altered clone for himself.
Both correct for a point. Okay, your third question comes from the category of the Clone Wars movie. And your question is, in what year was the Clone Wars movie released?
Same year the show premiered.
I'm so glad they didn't clone this movie.
Yes, as am I. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Pens down. Okay, Antonio.
We have never seen 2004.
Okay, and Case?
2008.
2008 is correct. So Case goes up by a score of 3-1.
All right, gentlemen. Your next question is in the category of The Empire Strikes Back. And your question is, what is the first line in the opening crawl of The Empire Strikes Back?
I love this question because it's one everybody should think they know, but unless you have it worded right, you'd be wrong.
Right.
Wrong, right? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Is it Antonio?
Yeah, I believe Case goes next on this one.
Okay.
I believe I go first, but I have nothing. I don't know.
I have nothing either.
All right. It is. The answer is, it is a dark time for the rebellion.
Right.
It is a dark time for the rebellion, right? So no perfect round in this match as they each miss a question there.
Opening crawl is difficult.
It is,
Yeah, those are tricky. You know, they actually all start with Lucasfilm.
That is true. And they also have a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. All right, your fifth category is The Force Awakens. And your question is, what planet was the Resistance base located on? Yeah, everybody should know this one, right, Hillbilly?
I would think so.
It really helps if you watch Resistance, the TV show.
And we'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Pens down. Antonio, do you have anything?
It's probably the old one, Yavin 4.
Yavin 4. Okay, Case?
The car.
The car is correct for a single point.
Yes, sir.
So Case goes up 4-1.
All right, folks. For our next question, the category is going to be the Phantom Menace. And our question is going to be, what is the model of the Naboo starfighters?
Why would anyone outside the competitors in this match know this? I have no idea. Let's go in 5.
I sure shooting don't know this one.
1. Okay, pens down. Take it away.
All right, Mr. Case.
Don't have it.
Did I get it wrong again? Antonio.
Probably wrong franchise, T100.
And Case?
You already had me. I didn't have it.
Oh, I'm sorry. The answer was N1.
The N1.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, your next category is Return of the Jedi. And the question is, there are 4 squadrons at the Battle of Endor. Name 2 of their color call sign prefixes.
I can give you a 4.
I bet you can. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pens down. Antonio, let's start with you.
Gold and red?
Gold and red, we will accept that, you bet. And Case?
Red, gold, green, and gray.
That is all 4 of them. Another point for Case. Brings him up to 5-2.
And Antonio. He got it as well.
Yes, he did, yep.
All right, gentlemen. Our next category is going to be in the category of Revenge of the Sith. And our question is, who are the last 2 characters in the final shot before the credits? I tell you, I wasn't a huge fan of the prequels when they came out, but I did like this one.
As did I.
The best one.
Yeah, we'll go in 3, 2, 1, pens down.
All right, let's go with Mr. Case.
Owen and Baru.
And Mr. Antonio?
I said Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. It's the same thing.
I think we can accept both of them answers.
Absolutely. That makes the score 6-3 now in favor of Case as we come up to your penultimate question. It's from the category of Rogue One. On what planet will you find Vader's castle?
You know, this sounds like a secret level on that Mario Brothers video game.
You think so? Did you play a lot of that as a kid there, Hillbilly?
Yeah, I did a little bit.
All right, let's go in 3.
This was like the 11th version of it, the castle.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I didn't know which pipe to go down.
All right, let's start with Antonio on this one.
Mustafar?
Okay, and Case?
Mustafar.
Both correct. Makes it 7-4.
All right. And then for our final question of round 1, gentlemen, we are going to go to the category of Solo. And our question is, what is the name of the Wookiee that Chewbacca frees and helps escape from the spice mines on Kessel?
I knew I watched this movie 10 times in the last week. and I needed to, because her name is said twice.
2, 1, and pens down.
All right, Mr. Case, what you got?
Sagwa.
And Mr. Antonio?
Damn, I said Sagawa.
Oh. One letter off. I'm sorry, we can't accept Sagawa, but Sagwa is correct.
Sagwa is correct.
So that gives us a round one score of 8-4. Very entertaining round. I'm actually kind of surprised that that Case missed a couple of questions there. I know there's a certain Spaniard.
Do you know how tough those questions were?
I did, because I knew like two of them.
Some deep cuts.
Yes, there were some very deep cuts. But of course, Antonio's still in striking range. You'll never know how the wheel lands for you. Let's head into round number 2.
All right, folks, we are moving on to round 2 next. And round 2 works a little something like this. You're going to get to spin that there wheel, and you will have 12 categories on it. And if you like the category you get, you can keep it. If you don't, you can have a respin. But if you respin, you got to keep whatever you land on. All right, so after you select your category from your spin, you're going to get 5 questions in that category. For these questions, if you know the answer, you can answer it and get 2 points. If you don't know the answer, you can go multiple choice for 1 point. Now, keep in mind, if you miss it, your opponent's going to get a chance to steal it if they know the answer. So that's pretty much it. Y'all got any questions?
No.
All right. Are y'all ready to spin? We're going to, since Mr. Case is in the lead, we're going to let the Grand Admiral choose if he wants to go first or if he wants to defer.
Spin.
Should we give him the categories?
Oh,
I saw him.
probably.
I know him.
All right, it looks like you're going to land on The Last Jedi.
All right. Do you want to keep that or do you want to hear the categories?
More recent, but I've seen it a lot and I do love it. Go with it. Let's go.
And remind you that you both still have your 3 repeats and your challenges left.
All right, I'm ready when you are, sir. For your first question, in the category of The Last Jedi, how many of them there Praetorian guards were in Snoke's main chamber?
Multiple choice.
Okay. Your multiple choices are A is 8, B is 6, C is 9, and D is 5.
I'll go with 9.
Ooh, that's not it. Are you able to steal, Mr. Antonio?
I'll just go with 6.
Oh, that's not it either. What we're looking for is 8. 8 guards.
Of course. One off.
Okay. All right. Our next question for you, Mr. Case, in the category of The Last Jedi. How many Academy Award nominations did The Last Jedi receive?
Sound editing, sound mixing, visual effects, original score, 4.
That's your final answer?
Yes.
You are correct, sir. Another couple points for Mr. Case. And our next question in The Last Jedi. As soon as Finn and Rose left for Canto Bight, how many hours of fuel did the Resistance have left?
Multiple choice.
Okay. Your choices are A is 19 hours, B is 12 hours, C is 18 hours, and D is 21 hours.
18 hours.
That's right.
I mixed it up with another one that's said later.
All right, and your next to last question here is, who voices Slow and Low, Amel Abednego? Y'all would make
This is the Ryan Johnson regular Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I appreciate you not making me finish reading that question. Yes, you are correct for another 2 points. All right, and then your final question, Mr. Case, in The Last Jedi is, who says, I need someone to show me my place in all of this?
Right.
Yes, sir. For another 2 more points. So at the end of your turn in round 2, I got 16-4.
I got 15.
15,
Or
actually.
15. Did I miscount?
One too many toes, Hillbilly.
Well,
Hillbilly and counting don't go together.
that's, honestly, after I get over 11, I have problems.
Well, you did pretty good. You should be proud of yourself. So let's bring the wheel back up here for the Midnight Marauder here. All right, whenever you're ready, Antonio, you can give it a spin.
All right, go ahead.
Round and round she goes. Where she stops, only the Force knows. All right, looks like we're going to stop on Attack of the Clones.
Spin it again.
Spin it again. All right, spinning away from Attack of the Clones. This could be a good move. That's probably one of the ones that's hardest to rewatch. So
It is.
Yeah.
And
we're going to get the Phantom Menace. So we're staying in prequel territory, but you're going to get 5 questions from the category of the Phantom Menace. All right,
It's
Antonio.
hard to rewatch.
Your first question. Who played Padme's decoy on Naboo?
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley is correct for 2 points. Okay, your second question. How many times is the word lightsaber said? Okay, we're going to need an answer in 5, 4, 3.
Repeat the question.
All right, there's your first repeat. In the category The Phantom Menace, how many times is the word lightsaber said? You'll need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2.
0.
0 is correct. It is referred to as a laser sword, never as a lightsaber. 2 more big points on that one. Okay, let's go to question number 3. What color was Anakin on Watto's dice to bet for his freedom?
Blue.
Blue is correct for 2 more points. Bringing your total up to 10. Having a great round here in the Phantom Menace. Your fourth question, Antonio. What does a communications disruption mean? We'll need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
Okay, your second repeat. What does a communications disruption mean?
Oh, invasion.
Invasion is correct for 2 more points. 15-12 now with 1 more question left to go here in the Phantom Menace. And your question is, what does Obi-Wan call the rolling droids?
Destroyers.
Destroyers is correct for 2 more points. I tell you what, Hillbilly, Antonio came charging back in that round. We now have 15-14, Case with a very slim lead over the Marauder.
That was something else. That just goes to show you can't count nobody out in these things.
Phantom Menace was very kind to Antonio, and not a lot of people can say that. All right, so let's head into round number 3. Round 3 works like this. The competitors will pick 3 numbers that will correspond to 3 random categories between 1 and 14. Each competitor will get 3 questions. Questions are worth 2, 3, and 5 points. There is no stealing or multiple choice in this round. And just a reminder, Antonio, you have 1 repeat left and your challenge. Case, you have all 3 of your repeats and your challenge. Case, since you are in the lead, you get to pick your categories first. What numbers would you like?
I'll go with 1, 5, and 14.
1, 5, and 14. Okay, Antonio?
2, 8, and 11.
2, 8, 11. Okay, Jeff, if you want to, Okay, Hibbly, if you want to start us off reading the questions for Antonio.
All right. You got it. So your 2-point question, you chose number 2, which is the category that you just can't seem to get away from today, and that is the Phantom Menace. So your 2-point question in the Phantom Menace is, what is the name of the pod race held on Tatooine in the Phantom Menace?
We'll need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Boonta Eve Classic.
It was the Boonta. We can't give you a point for that, Case, but you did get it right. It was the Boonta Eve Classic.
Or, as I like to call it, Tatooine Knights, the legend of Andy Skywalker.
Oh, boy.
All right. So we're going to move on to your 3-point question. And you chose category number 8, which corresponds to weapons, vehicles, and technology. So your 3-pointer question is, the Monetizer S-195 blaster pistol is the primary weapon of which Star Wars character?
We'll need an answer in 5, 4.
The repeat.
Okay, that is your final repeat.
Okay. The Monetizer S-195 blaster pistol is the primary weapon of which Star Wars character?
Five, 4, 3.
Boba Fett.
Ooh. Now the one we're looking for is that they're Kira.
Kira from Solo, A Star Wars Story. So that means...
I thought it was a solo question.
So that means, Antonio, you have to hit your 5-pointer to stay in this one. If you miss this, Case is going to win via TKO.
All right, so we're going to move on to, you chose number 11 for your 5-pointer, and that's going to correspond to the category of A New Hope. And your question is, what is the genre of music the band in the cantina plays?
We will need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Jazz?
And your winner, via technical knockout, Case, the Grand Admiral Cornelis. You were very close. It's actually Jizz.
You were so close.
Wait,
Jizz is the
for real? That's what it's called?
It's called
They're
Jizz.
referred to as Jizz.
They literally,
The Jizz Whalers.
They literally said they called something jizz in Star Wars. Okay, cool.
Oh my god. That's gonna be... I don't know if I should be proud that I didn't get that. Okay.
Again, you were one letter off from a correct answer.
Oh my God.
What a way to finish this one, Hillbilly. I can't imagine a more entertaining Star Wars match to get this division kicked off here. This is the second match we're recording, but this one's going to be hard to top, I think.
This was a lot of fun, super entertaining. And when they mentioned this here Star Wars division, I thought I might want to get into it, but there's no way I could hang with any of these guys.
This was a number one.
This was number one contenders match. So you'll be going for a title shot against David the Spaniard García. Absolutely. That's going to be a tremendous match. But let's hear more from these competitors. We're going to take it up north, not to the Elks Lodge, though. Instead, we're going to send it off to Jimmy Hazard Dairy. Take it away, Jimmy.
Hello, Face of Fanatics. It's not the elk. Elk is tired, mountain, always hunting, providing for his family of younger elks. Elks Juniors? I don't know. I'm here with Antonio Chavez today, brother himself. What's up, Antonio? How did you feel about that match?
Listen, he's like I said, I've played him before, and kind of had a feeling much different. But I was glad to keep it at least entertaining. I was actually surprised that I had a good round two. But I think what he said before, I have to agree, and that I love it. I just don't think I breathe and live it. So I do want to get to that point. I know I got a lot more studying to do, and definitely a lot more room to fill up with Star Wars knowledge.
During the match, you missed the first question from the get-go. Did it mess you up inside? Did you have a hard time recovering from that?
No, because I was actually surprised I got close to the right name. I just remembered someone. I didn't actually know it wasn't Antilles. So, well, I mean, that wasn't too bad for that now.
Well, speaking of names, you also missed Sagawa, whatever that name is.
Right.
By one letter. That must have failed pretty bad.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, like I said, I watched the movie today, which was hard to get through. And also, I Googled it just in case, because I could have swore I only heard the name once. But I was just like, I really need to remember the name. But I don't see stuff like that. It's going to bite me in the ass later on.
Well, actually, you recovered pretty well in round two. You spun Phantom. You pretty much ran the board. How do you feel upon spinning Phantom Menace?
It's like the movie I sort of am starting to enjoy, even though I realize it's not a really good Star Wars film, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I kind of surprised myself that I kind of ran the board on that film. I mean, I always want to get Empire Strikes Back. That's just my preference. But I felt pretty good after that, and then keep it going. But then, of course, Phantom Menace bit me in the ass in other ways too.
But it still went super well in round two. So now we get to round three. You missed all three questions, but the closest you were was at the last questions with Jazz and not Jizz. Something in Star Wars is named Jizz for some reason.
All right.
But yeah, overall, a pretty good performance. What are your next plans for next season, Antonio?
No, just trying to get back into this as soon as possible. And now I know I really need to step up my game because, like he says, he lives and breathes it, Star Wars. I want to get to that point. Yeah, I feel like I can not really call myself a casual fan at this moment. I can only call myself a casual fan at the moment.
All right. We're going to be right back with our champion today, Mr. Antonio, Case Cornelis from Dutchland. I'll go and throw it back to myself. Oh, hi! We're Case. How are you, Case, after this nice victory today?
That was a lot closer than I would have liked because, after round one, I have a pretty commanding lead, and I thought, okay, I did pretty well, and now let's put it away in round two. Then I got The Last Jedi, which I personally thought the questions that they had for The Last Jedi were a little tougher than the ones for the Phantom Menace. Like, the Phantom Menace questions have been asked in the some of them have been asked in the Schmodown, I know, so that's why I thought those were a little easier. But nevertheless, it's good that he managed to answer them because that made it a little bit of a closer match. Then we get to round three, and I think I was just a little lucky that he didn't know any of his questions, because if he had known any of them, I would have been forced to answer, and I don't know how I would have done. Given his questions, like his 3 and his 5-pointer, those were really tough questions, and I don't think I would have gotten those if those had been asked to me. So that is a wake-up call for me to study more, study certain things that I haven't studied yet. I mean, I have been studying, but not everything. Unfortunately, it's like, despite the fact that Star Wars is still a contained thing, because of the fact that we've had a lot of questions already in the Schmodown and other stuff. The questions get deeper and tougher, and yeah, the specifics that they ask about is still a lot to study for. So I think for the title match, I still need to study up on a couple of things, and I'll be ready, because David, you know a lot about Star Wars. I know you do, and you're almost as close as me with the living and breathing stuff, but I don't think you're there yet. I am, and that's why I'm going to win that belt, and you can try again next year. You know, that's how it's going to be.
I suggest studying opening crawl, maybe.
Yeah,
didn't even guess anything there, so that was one hard question. I'm gonna give you that. All right, so you got 7 points out of 10 on round 2. Still a decent performance in my opinion, but Last Jedi. It depends on your opinion of the movie. So
I love the movie. I've seen it a lot. But if you ask the amount of Praetorian guards, it's like, yeah, I try to remember how the shot looked. I've never actually counted it, because every time the scene comes up, I enjoy the scene and I don't count the guard standing there.
Yeah. So that was a nice TKO, and now you're going to title shot in December, facing David, the Spaniard García. Some might tell you that he got not a TKO, he got a KO in his victory match. So
well,
maybe he's better than you. Who knows?
Considering his opponent, like I honestly think Antonio was a lot tougher opponent to face for me than who David faced, because I know that he didn't actually face Sandy Robinson as planned, but he faced Jay Burnz, who I recently talked to and hasn't had time to study anything for the last couple of months since he did really well in Full Metal Geek. So it doesn't surprise me that David did so well, considering he's been studying.
Well, you're gonna have the opportunity to shut his mouth up. We're gonna see you in December. Have a good match, Case. See you around. Back to the desk.
All right, thank you very much for that, Jimmy. Hillbilly, we had a great match here today. I love this Star Wars division. I tell you, one thing you're going to get from here, you have singles, which is going to be fairly general questions because it covers such a broad span. Geektacular narrows that scope a little bit, but once you get into just one franchise like Star Wars, these questions get very specific, and we saw a couple of these questions tripped up these competitors here today.
Yeah, that's no lie, friend. There were some deep cuts in here, and as we keep going, they're just going to get deeper and deeper. And like you're saying, this is like a very, very focused category. If you show up to play in this one, you got to be ready and you got to be prepared. And I think both of these fellas were prepared today. They gave us a really, really good match.
Absolutely, to the point where you and I struggled with some of the pronunciations, they were able to jump in and help us finish the questions, which is always appreciated.
That's life for me, friend.
But it was interesting when you get into round 3. We're talking about specific models of weaponry now. Minutia that when you're watching these films, you wouldn't even bother to ever try to remember. Yeah. These guys have to know this right, in 15 seconds too, with the lights on. Everybody watching on YouTube. A lot of pressure in the Star Wars division.
Oh, absolutely. And even though Mr. Case won today, I don't think this is the last we've seen of the Midnight Marauder in this category. Division.
I agree with you 100%, my friend. So we have Case Cornelius going on to face David the Spaniard Garcia, happening in December for the Star Wars title. That's going to be a tremendous match. I can't wait to see it. But for right now, we'd like to thank everybody for watching here today. We'd like you to check out all the names scrolling across the bottom, all the hardworking folks who make the Movie Trivia Face-Off as much fun it is to participate and watch. Yeah, they're all scrolling right now. Don't forget, you can catch us on YouTube. Of course, we have a Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. We have our T Public store. I know Hillbilly's been busy adding a bunch of new designs to the T Public store lately.
Yeah, check it out. There's good stuff on there and more coming.
And great job to the Star Wars writers. I thought the questions here were fantastic. Whenever you can trip up guys like Antonio and Case, job well done. So on behalf of my broadcast partner, oh, sorry, go ahead, Hillbilly.
Oh, I was just going to say, this was great. I've worked up quite an appetite. I'm going to whip up some portions and make myself a sandwich and wash it down with some bantha milk.
Perfect. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Hillbilly Scribs, my name is Corey Morrison. Thank you very much for watching the Movie Trivia Face-Off, and we'll see you next time.